Well, it's day 2 of the Runako Morton TDC Primary Schools cricket competition. The Modcross Prep is coming up against the Ivalas Primary. And Modcross Prep taking strike. First ball up, young Herbert clean bowled the opening batsman. So 1 wicket down for Modcross, but one of the mainstays of the prep school team is in now, young Daniel. He's driving, gets an inner edge, swings it into the onside off for a single, and could have been in trouble there because there was hesitation between the two batsmen and eventually went back. So it's going to be Herbert once more. Moves in, he's one of the twins. Moves in now to bowl to Daniel. Daniel is struck and shouting his appeal. Good line, good pace. And Daniel was beaten on that occasion. So I thought Daniel was a little late in his shot on that occasion. Beaten for pace there. Young Herbert working up a good steam and bowling pretty accurately too. Bowls now good length. He's driving. That's a sweet looking shot into the offside. And the fielder gets behind it, stops it nicely. But a little bend of the knee there by Daniel, stroking it sweetly into the offside, and he gets a single. So it's going to be Herbert once more. Already picked up a wicket with his very first delivery. Making some adjustments. He has decided to go over the wicket to the left-hander. Whatever he's seen, he has decided this is where I want to go. Moves in now to bowl short and down the leg side. A swing and a miss. Wide signal by umpire Jubri. Herbert changes once more. Decided to go around now as he bowls another wide. So the change in angle didn't change anything. Another wide. So he has lost the script all of a sudden. And Coach Harvey at the far end not very happy with that. Trying to get him to focus here. This match is back. We're moving now to bowl. Here he goes, teams in bowl. Down the leg side again, another wide. So 3 consecutive wides after starting off so well. So he has made a shift again. He has decided to go over the wicket once more to the left-hander. I think on the advice of the coach. Better delivery, turns it into the onside, uppishly, but they should be looking to here, running very slowly. The ball is racing towards the boundary, and they go back for the second run. So 2 more to the total. It was played uppishly, but in the gap, and they got 2. He's driving at that and loosely beaten outside the off stump. The keeper didn't hold on to it, and they're going to get, I think, a bye. So 1 more to the total. He was driving loosely at that and was beaten. Keeper didn't hold on to that one, and 1 more to the total. So Joshua Prasad comes into the attack now, and he'll be bowling to the left-hander. It's a pretty long run, the youngster. Moves in now to bowl. Down the leg side, another wide. The keeper holds on to this one. Wide signaled by the umpire. That's Kian Pemberton at the far end. Kian Pemberton, who had a very good outing in the Leeward's T20 tournament. Was one of the chief wicket takers in that tournament. We'll be watching Prasad closely because he bowls medium pace as well. Here he goes, bowls outside the off stump. He has a wild swing at that and misses it as it goes through to the keeper. So we're getting from one of the coaches that the name is Gennari. So Gennari, the left-hander, settles over his bat once more. Nice to see Modcross Prep back into the action. I'll get back to that as he bowls. He's hitting it in the air. The fielder is getting on there. He takes the catch, he's gone. It was in the air for a long time. Gennari was swinging into that, and it went aerial. It was in the air for a long time, but the fielder positioned himself well, settled on it, and held on to it. Good catch in the end. Wicket number 2 goes as Gennari walks back to the pavilion. So I think last year the Modcross Prep didn't quite have a team, and it was unfortunate because young Daniel, who is one of the um, upcoming stars of cricket at this junior level, didn't get to play in a team. I think he tried a transfer in terms of cricket, but apparently that didn't work, so he just couldn't play. But this year, Modcross Prep has its own team, win, lose, or draw, and Daniel gets an opportunity to showcase his talent. Very good spin bowler and a useful batsman. Prasad steams in once more to bowl. He's cutting at this one, the little man. Little cut shot on that occasion. Looks a dapper little player. Looks as if he means it. But he's in his stance way before the bowler has even turned. Seems ready to go. The keeper is asking him to bowl on stump. Prasad it is. Steams in once more to bowl. Full toss. He's swinging that one into the onside. They're thinking of the single there. Shouts of no. And the fielder was quickly across, picks it up, and got the return in. Can't score. So here goes once more. Prasad from the batter till end. Moves in now. Nice little action. Bowls, and that one is down the leg side. That will have to be another wide. So they all add up. Just swiveling in his crease and allowing it to go past him, the youngster. So Prasad has a pretty nice little run up. Maybe a little long really for the kind of pace, but nice smooth action. There again, just leaning in, allowing the ball to go past him. Another wide. And so far, in all of the matches that we have seen so far, all of the bowlers that we have seen, lots of wides being bowled. And that's something the coaches will need to work on. They all add up. So it's going to be Prasad. Moves in once more to bowl. Useful delivery, dabs it into the offside. They're thinking of the single. The fielder rushes across. Can't score once more. Another dot in the scorer's book. Prasad from the batter till end. Moves in once more to bowl. He's turning at this one. Hits him on the pad. Daniel is interested in coming through, but the fielder at short mid-wicket is quick. And that seems to be the end of the over. So the end of the over number 2 completed. 2 wickets gone already. Moves in now to bowl. Daniel solidly, quietly forward, pushes it back up the strip to the bowler. Seems as if the bails got blown off as the wind picks up here at the E2 Willett Park. And the wind is so gusty here that if I was to move away from the camera, it will be blown clean to the ground. It's that strong. So I have to be holding on to the camera for dear life here. Here he goes. Moves in now to bowl to Daniel. Wasn't quite ready. The umpire stopped him actually. Marcus Dewberry stopping him, telling him that Kian Pemberton wasn't back in position as yet. Here he goes. Herbert moves in now to bowl to Daniel. Bowls. Daniel is pushing it uppishly, just short of the bowler and just to the right of him. That would have been a soft dismissal. Wasn't in control on that occasion. So Herbert looks a busy little cricketer. Moves in once more to bowl. He's driving at that loosely, beaten through to the keeper who doesn't hold on to it. Herbert is a little disappointed, telling the keeper, hold those. Herbert it is once more. Moves in once more to bowl to Daniel. Bowls. Daniel is driving again loosely at that. And they're going to get what I think would be a bye. He was driving loosely at that and beaten through to the past the keeper actually, and they got a bye. So here goes once more. Herbert moves in now to bowl. He's turning right around in his crease. Herbert is shouting his appeal as he struck him on the pad. Umpire Marcus Joby is as unimpressed and unmovable as Mount Nevis, and that ends the over. Change in bowling. Looks as if we're going to have spin into the attack now. So let's see what's on offer here. New bowler moves in now to bowl. Looks like off spin. Punches it into the offside. That's powerfully struck. The long off comes into position and misfields badly, and it's gone into the boundary for 4. That's a poor bit of fielding there, because he actually went down on his knees, but he wasn't quite behind it. It just hit him on the knee and ran away for 4. And right away, Coach Harvey is saying, well, I have to change you from that position. Not happy at all. But that was beautifully punched by Daniel. So it's Harvey ringing the changes in the field now. 1 shot, 1-4 has caused havoc out there. So Harvey has made the adjustments. So he goes, moves in once more. Shot, and he's punching it down towards the man at long off. The new man, can he feel it? He does well on this occasion. Picks up on the run, gets a return in, 1 more to the total. And that looks almost like Jeremy Liebert bowling off spinners. Here he goes, bowls, loops it now. He's having an essay and a drive at that, beaten to the keeper. So a little bit of turn as well there for Liebert. One of the top athletes at the school, top footballer as well, now turned cricketer. Short. He's hitting it in the air. Brilliantly taken. Brilliantly taken. Good movements there. And almost looks like Herbert ran in and caught it with both hands while it was falling away from him. Good catch. Wicket number 3 goes. New batsman in, and Daniel having a quick word with him. So 3 wickets already gone for the Modcross team. I think the umpire would need to get them to keep moving. Extended conversation there, and so I think the umpires will have to get them in their creases. New batsman didn't take a guard. Settles. Here's Jeremy bowls. He's flashing at that. He has a wild swing at that, and it was well outside the off stump. White signal by the umpire, but he had a heave at that. Had he connected that, he might have ended on the Bath Hotel. Such was the swing. So here goes once more. Settles over his bat as the off spinner. But loops it. That's well looped. He's punching it, and well fielded by the man at mid-off. But it was latching on to that pretty well on that occasion. Settles over his bat once more, loops it again. He's punching it in the air. This could be another catch. Oh, he's dropped it. I think a matter of overconfidence there on that occasion. Same fielder. He got under it, got both hands to it, and floored it. So that ends the over. Well, we have the same one. Well, we have another Prasad. I don't know if it's a brother to the one who bowled medium pace, but we have spin now into the attack. Here he goes, moves in now, shows it up, and I'm saying shows it up casually, but have to watch the action a little bit here as he prepares to bowl his second delivery. Here he goes, moves in now to bowl. So he's just stroking it back up the strip to the bowler. Is Daniel. So Daniel knows that a lot depends on him if Modcross Prep is to have any sizable total today. Bowls, he's driving down the ground. Oh my goodness, Daniel left him stranded because he was already running through, And without calling, without saying anything, he just turned back. And fortunately, there was a slight misfield. The batsman was able to get back in his crease. So, we're moving once more to bowl to Daniel. Here he goes, moves in now, bowls to Daniel. Daniel gets a good delivery, punches it into the offside. Man at extra cover goes down, stops it nicely, passes it back to the bowler. Daniel looking a little fidgety, looks a little anxious. Maybe not getting the boundaries as he would like. Here goes short. He's hitting it in the air, deliberately so, over extra cover. The man is racing after it. Two men actually. Stops it. They should be going back for the second, and they get two quite easily in the end. So, once again, changing the field by Coach Harvey. Prasad it is. We're moving once more. This time, well, to bowl to Daniel once more. Daniel gets one down the leg side. Maybe should have tried whacking that one away. He just casually came forward. White signal though. Prasad it is. Moves in once more to bowl to Daniel. Daniel is punching it. That's a lovely shot. The man is racing across. Can he stop it? He does. But single is on. But that was well played. Outfield looks a little heavy. Lots of rain overnight and this morning. But the cricket goes on. So it's going to be Jeremy Liebert. We'll move into bowl now to Daniel. Here he goes, bowls to Daniel. Daniel tugs it into the onside. Could have punched it into the offside. Pulls it out towards mid-on. Gets a single. One more to the total. So Jeremy Liebert is bowling slow. Really looping them up, and he waited on it to land on that occasion. Here's the off break. Misses the heave. He's heaving at that. And it looks as if these two men here are on standby for another catch coming their way. One of them, if he doesn't latch onto it properly. Here goes once more. It's going to be Liebert. Moves in now to bowl. He's swinging this one into the onside, tugging it down towards square leg, and would get a single. One more to the total. Here he goes now, bowls. He's tugging it once more. Is Daniel, almost straining himself in the process, probably waiting too long, waiting on that back foot, and then finally got it off. Didn't latch onto it with any power, but gets a single nonetheless. One more to the total. Liebert moves in, loops it again. He's punching and missing. Swing of the bat, and comprehensively beaten. Through to the keeper. So the keeper maybe could get a little closer and look for a stumping. When he swings that bat, he seems as if he's totally out of his crease. He's off the edge. Had the keeper been closer, that ball is landing before it gets to the keeper. That ends the over. And that's a good catch. Daniel heaving towards the mid-wicket boundary. The man waiting on the mid-wicket boundary latched onto it with both hands. Coach Harvey's pleased. And the mainstay for the Modcross prep team walks back. Daniel is gone. Crucial wicket there for the Ivalas team. New batsman in. Prasad it is. Moves in now to bowl. He's punching at that, beaten, through to the keeper. So it's going to be Prasad once more. Moves in now to bowl. Beaten again, loose looking shot. Wide signal by the umpire. Here goes. Prasad moves in now to bowl. He's punching it into the offside. Can't score. And And so far, the Ivor Walters fielding team looks one of the sharper teams I've seen in the field in terms of the attacking the ball and so on. Movements very good indeed. Moves in now to bowl. Good delivery. Punches it into the offside. They're off and running. And get the single quite easily in the end. Challenging the fielder. So here goes once more. Moves in now to bowl. He's hitting it in the air. The fielder is coming in. Drops just in front of him. So pulling it in. One bounce on that occasion. So Prasad it is. Moves in once more to bowl. Loops it. He's hitting it in the offside. The ball is racing away towards the extra cover boundary. Man sliding effort, but kicks it further towards the boundary. They go back for the second. Crucial runs those. And might even have a third. No, good backup here. So looks as if it's the other twin into the attack now. He's bowling spin, swinging a miss, and his head was in the air. The bat was swinging like the windmill. Missed the shot, shoot to the keeper. Here goes once more. Moves in to bowl down the leg side, but he's jabbing at it, and it's all the way down the leg side. The bowler is shouting his appeal at the umpire aggressively too. The umpire is unimpressed because both feet were jumping outside the leg stump when that ball struck in. So well outside the leg stump too. Nice little action though, nice little whippy action. Moves in once more to bowl. Gets a full toss outside the off stump, swing and a miss. Again, head in the air. Needs to watch the ball and watch it onto the bat. So settles once more, bowls. He's swinging into that. The fielder put a foot to it and it almost took it to the boundary. He struck that. He creamed it. He latched on to that. That came out of the middle of the bat like a rocket. And the fielder, probably not aware what he was thinking, he just put his foot at that. Had it struck him, I think the foot would have gone along over the rope as well. It was struck that powerfully. Well. Moves in once more. He's going to swing again. No, he jabs his foot at it. He's shouting his appeal once more. But that's well outside the leg stump again. So bowling what looks like off spinners with a whippy kind of action. Nice little whippy action too. Just needs to land them properly. There he goes. Loops. He's punching it past the bowler. Should have been thinking one. Went all the way down to the man at a deep mid-off position. Can't score in the end. Looks as if the other Prasad, the medium pacer, is bowling from this end now. Off that long run-up bowls. He's tugging at that. Comes off the pad. And one thing I can tell you is that Harvey would have taught these guys that once he strikes the pad to appeal, they're going to appeal. I've seen some other teams striking batsmen maybe spot on, but no appeal. Umpire can't send the batsman out. Here he goes, moves in now, Prasad bowls, and he's tugging at that, gets a bit of bat onto it, goes backward up square. The man races, well, forward up square. The man from backward up square races across, picks it up, but they're through for the single. So here he goes once more, Prasad. Nice smooth run up, moves in now to bowl. He's swinging into that. The fielder has a tough job here, but brilliantly done. These guys have been practicing fielding. You could see that. He approached it well, and he got right around it and stopped it nicely. And they only got a single. So Prasad moving once more to bowl. Slimly built. Nice smooth run up balls. He's tugging at that. A little bit of bat and pad. Goes backward up square. The keeper races after it. They can't score. Prasad looking busy. Races back to his bowling mark. Prepares to move in now to bowl. Bowls. There he goes. He's swinging into that. And taken. For one moment I thought that it had dropped away from him, but he covered it nicely, took it really low, but took it with both hands. So another wicket goes for Modcross. Innings was entertaining while it lasted. New batsman in, getting some assistance from umpire Kian Pemberton. Adjusting the helmet. That's one of the rules of this primary school cricket. None of the batsmen allowed to bat without a helmet. It's all about protecting the children in this early development of their cricketing careers. Here he goes, moves in now to bowl. He's swinging at that. And Prasad literally holds his head, wondering, how didn't I get that one? Well, we do not have access to the scorecard at this point, but gets a full toss, tucks it into the onside. The man in the mid-wicket boundary gets down on both knees and stops it effectively. One more to the total. And a no ball signaled. I think it could have well been for height. So it's going to be a free hit. So, interesting signals there from Kian Pemberton. One hand was signaling no ball, the other was signaling free hit. Now he has got the acknowledgement and he's swinging into that. Over towards the man at long on, races in, attacking the ball. One more to the total. So the batsman will settle once more. And now to bowl. Full toss down the leg side, swung away. One bounce into the boundary for 4 and a no ball again, I believe, for height. They're still running, but the umpire's already signaled 4. Let's see what Jubri says about that delivery. Well, Kian Pemberton has made the signal. It's another free hit. And so the Modcross crew at the far end get something to cheer about. They're here in their numbers to support. So, free hit. I think Coach Harvey was making some changes, but I think Carl Tuckett on the boundary edge told him he can't make an adjustment to the field. So here goes, free hit delivery, ball. He's swinging at that. Probably waited too long. He was gearing up for a big swing, but just wasn't releasing it. Now adjustments being made to the field. So here he goes, moves in now to bowl, loops it. He's having a swing at that. That was a good axe, I could tell you. But long on would have been looking for that if he hadn't the strength to clear him, would have been in that general area. But the man means business. He's swinging for all he's worth. Settles now. He is swinging again. Well, tucks it into the onside and gets 1. So 1 more to the total. So here he goes, moves in now to bowl. The little man is beaten. All 3 stumps move. They're running through for what will be a bye. He has direct hit, might do it. Misses the stumps. And let's see what the signal is. There's no signal. That's interesting. So Kian Pemberton either forgot or he's saying he got a touch on that. Here he goes once more. been a little up and down, this bowler, but he has a nice little action though. That's better. Off the edge, the keeper is a distance away. They're running. Oh, he missed. He missed. Well, he's saying that he hit the stumps, but I think the bills flew off. I think the bills came off because of the wind. So that's interesting there. They're asking how the bills came off, but I think what happened is it was a poor throw. It missed the stumps, but almost simultaneously the wind picked up and blew off the bail. So they were appealing. The umpire Marcus Juby would have seen it from close range. He goes, moves in now to bowl. Swinging at that, he's shouting his appeal, but again, what these batsmen have done all morning is that when they're swinging, both feet seem to be swinging into the action of the playing the shot and being the momentum tugging them onto the onside and away from the stumps. So by the time the ball makes impact, they're well outside of their stumps. So, but once they hit a pad, Ivalas Primary, they're going to appeal. Not a bad ploy either. Moves in now to bowl. He's punching at that, rocked back and was punching the batsman getting ready to run. But that would have been dangerous. He goes. Looks like Herbert moving in once more to bowl. Again, he's staying deep in his crease and having that windmill kind of swing. But he was well inside of the delivery. Just swinging at ear on that occasion. Coach Harvey asking Herbert to bowl the ball on stumps. Here he goes. Moves in now to bowl. Fuller pitch delivery again. He leans back deep in his crease and has that wild looking swing. Slow ball too. He was swinging way too early. Flew to the keeper. Here he goes. Moving in once more to bowl. He's swinging in the air. I don't think anybody's going to catch that. He has to be a really good catch. And a little bit of a collision there. Meanwhile, they're running back for the second. And they get it in the end. But that had to be a good catch because the ball was way in the air. And two men were running in to grab at it. And no calling. And almost a little bit of a collision there. The fielder at mid-wicket seems very disappointed, seems to have hurt himself in the process. Batsman gets away with it, gets two in the process as well. Moves in now to bowl. He's swinging into that. They're running. Fielder comes across and misfields. They get a single, so one more to the total. So, here goes. Herbert bowls and the three stumps move, but it's gone past the keeper as well. And they're going to get what looks like a bye. Don't think he touched it, so one more to the total. Crucial runs here for Modcross. But I could tell you this much. Coach Harvey shouting his instructions from the boundary edge, making sure that his young guards understand exactly what he requires. Changing bowling. Looks like Jeremy Labor, they're running. These two seem more. But that's direct hit there by Jeremy. The umpire says he wants the third umpire. Imagine that. Ken Pemberton, he's the umpire out there. He's at close range. And he's indicating that he wants the third umpire's opinion. Well, I've heard about an umpire who, when he was officiating, his village team was in the field, and when the bowler raced into bowl, he shouted an appeal. Well, the ball struck the player on the pad, and the umpire shouted an appeal. The umpire said, "How is that?" Well, here goes, he bowls, he's swinging into that. Might be, no, drops away from the keeper and they're rushing through for the single. Well, what these two are doing very well is that they're virtually playing every last one here. Once they hit the ball, they're running. And maybe that's a good ploy because they need every single run here. Jeremy is telling the keeper that he needs to come closer. Here he goes. Moves in now to bowl. Loops it. He's punching it. He's going to run. Well, well, well. What is the keeper going to do? But I think he might. Well, he's gone. Well, well, well. Jubri was in position. That was as crazy as it gets. He hit it, but he was just in front of him on the pitch. And the keeper this time didn't miss the stumps. Throwing with his gloves on and all. And umpire Jubri, he's in a good position to make that decision. I think if the batsman hadn't released the bat out of his hand, he might have been safe. But he was running in, bat out of his hand, and I guess he was caught napping out of his crease. Run out. But a little entertaining partnership has come to an end. Left-handed strike, new batsman. And Libert has decided to go around the wicket for the left-hander. Loops it. He's sitting it around. He's running. Well, the other batsman is running. The little youngster is just scooting home belatedly. And he wasn't given the memo that once the ball touches the bat, we're going to run. He was there waiting, but finally scooted home. Here goes once more. Jeremy bowls, loops it. Bowled him! Full from hand to stump. Somehow he missed it and picked out the leg stump. So another wicket goes. It was a rank full toss. And the batsman swinging down the wrong line and being comprehensively bowled. The wind picks up here at the E.T. Willett Park, and the new batsman is in. Another left-hander chopping at that awkwardly, and goes through to the keeper. That ends the innings. That's the end of the innings, and we'll have to get the total. But at least the Modcross Prep batted all of the overs. Well, the chase has started. Officially, we have gotten the scoreline. Modcross Prep got to 55, and a good bit of fielding by the youngster at mid-wicket. Ball was clipped away nicely. So it's going to be Daniel, who is one of the main bowlers for the Modcross team. Lopes it, he's beaten, and it was out of his crease, but the keeper not looking to stump. But he definitely was out of his crease there. Settles over his bat once more. Daniel moves in now to bowl. Well bowled, turning back, beating him comprehensively. The keeper didn't hold on to it. So Daniel could be a handful. He has played even in the senior league on Nevis and would have picked up wickets too. Moves in once more. Bowls quietly, solidly forward on that occasion. Well played, but no ball signaled by the umpire. Maybe overstepping. And he's just being made aware that he overstepped. So Daniel asking what he did wrong. Marcus Joby indicating what he did wrong. Overstepped, so it's going to be a free hit. Here he goes, moves in now to bowl. He's swinging into that one. The man at mid-wicket races in. Misfields badly. They should be going back for the second. And they go back and they get two quite easily. So, not good job on that occasion by the Modcross fielding team. Here goes once more. Bowls. He's solidly, quietly forward, pushing it in front of him, keeping Daniel out. Maybe just bowling a little too flat. Maybe just needs to loop it a little bit. So let's see what happens as he moves in once more. There he goes. That's struck on the pad. That's close. That's gone. Struck on the pad. Celebrates. And he's gone. So Daniel picks up a crucial wicket there, and big celebration as well. It was flat, it was fast, it was direct on stump. The batsman was pushing tentatively at it, struck on the front pad, I believe, but according to Marcus Joby, right in front. And so he's gone. Well, that's awful fielding. First by the wicketkeeper, and then by the third man. Ball going through them like strainers, and they picked up 2. I think that would be Baez. Almost in a long stop position here. He needs to be not behind the keeper. He's behind the wicket keeper. I think the coaches need to make a note of that. He's behind the wicket keeper. Still behind the wicket keeper. Now he makes an adjustment. Somebody has told him that he's behind the wicket keeper. So here goes the bowler. Bowls. He's hitting it in the air. No ball signal though. And dropping just short of the fielder. But the no ball signaled. I don't know if it's overstepping again, but I believe it could well be, and it's going to be a free hit. So free hit. Moves in now to bowl. Swing and a miss. Another no ball. He needs to ask the umpire what he's doing wrong. So the umpire is telling him that he was overstepping. So on 2 occasions he overstepped, unfortunately, for the Modcross team as he prepares to bowl. A shorter run up now. Better delivery, and he was squeezing it out on that occasion. So somebody's saying keep it so. Getting some encouragement. So the shorter run seems to be working in his favor here as he moves in to bowl once more. Here he goes, moves in now to bowl. He's punching at that, beaten through to the keeper. So getting some encouragement here, the bowler. Now he goes off a longer run. This might be another no ball. He's slamming it, but this time the bowler is there. And the batsman was rushing out of his crease, but then he skedaddled back home ahead of the return. So the bowler taking a longer run, but this time he didn't overstep. Batsman will settle once more. Here he goes, moves in now off that shorter run, moves in now to bowl, and that's bowled him! He was swinging right around it, and he picked out his leg stump. Celebrations for the Modcross team, and they have some support, I can tell you. I'm wondering if that's headmistress Queely down there. Maybe she knows a little bit about the game. So new batsman in, way outside the off stump. Batsman essaying a drive, wide signal by the umpire. So this target could be interesting, could be an interesting chase here for Ivor Walters. It's only 55 runs, but you never know. Trying to turn, it goes past him down the leg side, wide signal by the umpire. They'll all add up, and all of the bowlers in all of the teams seem to be having that problem. Here he goes once more. Seems as if the wind causing problems with the bails once more. Umpire Marcus Dewberry's in to rectify that. Very interesting contest in the test match between India and England. We'll have to try to get an update on that. As he goes, he moves, he bowls. It's a good delivery, just jabs down on it. Foot movement limited, just the bat going towards the ball that ends the over. Successful over. So Daniel it is continuing. He picks up a wicket in his first over, making some adjustments to his field. So here's Daniel moving in now to bowl, stroking it. That's a pleasant looking shot. A long single. They were pausing, but he was stroking it pleasantly off the front foot and picking up a single in the process. New batsman in. I'm telling you, this could be a very interesting run chase. So one of the spectators asking Daniel for a wicket in the over. Here he goes, bowls. He jabs down on it, mid-wicket, moves in, picks it up stylishly too, and swings the return into the bowler. Kept that out well though, the batsman. Daniel bowling just a little flat though, moves in once more. Again, he just stabs down on it and keeps it out. Would be interesting if he can just loop one once the batsman is just inclined to stab it and keep it out. So here goes once more. Moves in now, loops this one, hits him on the pad, no ball. Again, he would have overstepped, but that was hit flush on the pad. And overstepped once more. So I think he has lost out on a wicket there. Here he goes, moves in once more. Daniel bowls wider and he slashes at that, true to the keeper. Had some width and he threw everything at that. The microwave, the stove, the kitchen sink, everything went at that one. Moves in once more to bowl flatter on stump, but he stabs it out, keeps it out well, and that ends the over. Here he goes, moves in now to bowl. That's a wide, way down the leg side. Moves in now to bowl. He's punching it into the offside. Fielder comes across, stops it. And one more to the total. Batsman settles once more. Looks like Jeremy Liebert. He's punching it into the offside. They should have been thinking a single there, but belatedly moving. This could be interesting, but he gets home. One more to the total. Fielder really deep, and there was a hesitation, but he finally got home. So here he goes once more. As he'll move in now to bowl. There he goes, ball full pitch delivery. Turns it into the onside. The square leg is deep. They should be thinking two here. But again, late movements, only a single. So here he goes once more. Moves in now to bowl. He's punching it up the strip to the bowler, who feels it well, can't score. So 56 is the required target. Here he goes, bowled, full toss, he's bowled! Swinging right across it, there was Jeremy Liebert, and clean bowled. New batsman in, beaten, pushing tentatively at that one. Effectively ends the over. Very interesting contest set up here. Speaking of which, England 275 for 4. A couple of crucial wickets going. Pope just for 8. Harry Brook for 0. And Duckett, who batted superbly, went for 140. Crawley got about 65. So Stokes is at the crease along with the indomitable Joe Root. It's going to be Lamar now into the attack, and he'll be bowling from this distance what looks like medium pacers. Bowling over the wicket. So here he goes, moves in now to bowl. He's hitting it in the air, chopped. Hands outstretched, but I'm not even sure if he got his hands to it. But a possible chance going in a beg in there. So Lamar will move in once more to bowl. Full toss. He's hitting on the pad. As he tried to turn, the keeper goes running after it. And that would be a leg by. There's no signal, so there's a little bat into that. Ball looked high initially, but it was dropping all the time. Struck him on the pad. There he goes, bowls again, another high ball, swung away viciously backward of square for 4, and might be a no ball as well. So let's see what the signal will be. There is no signal from the umpire, but it was a full toss and he swung it away backward of square for 4. The wind and the Bills having a field day here. Marcus Dewberry decides, okay, I'm going to hold him in my hand. Meantime, then he decides he's going to try again. Let's see if they'll stay on this time. The wind really busy here at the ETW. This time they stay on. Lamar moves in once more to bowl. He's punching it over the head of the bowler. Daniel has a run, but so too the man at mid-off who misfields badly. Daniel covers for him and only a single. Here goes Lamar bowls. That's another high ball. That's another full toss. But there's a man at deep mid-wicket. But it should be signaled no ball again. Well, it should be a no ball this time. Definitely no ball. And it's going to be a free hit. So one more to the total and a free hit. So Lamar will move in once more, struggling to get the ball in good areas outside the upstump. Hits it in the air, but it's a free hit. So even if he catches it as the two fielders collide, it wouldn't be out. So no real effort. So here goes once more. Another full toss. Daniel races in. Is this going to be another no ball? It was pretty high, but he has been given a reprieve. That ends the over. Well, you're bowling into the attack. I think the game is very intriguingly positioned at this point, but we don't have the scores. Here he goes, bowls. He's pushing, beaten. Shoot the keeper. They're going for the run. This could be interesting. He misses the stumps, and the non-striker gets back. But the ball should have been thrown to the other end, really, because the other batsman was 3/4 way down, and he missed the stumps anyway. Serious mix-up there. So here goes once more. Moves in now to bowl. He's punching it into the offside, down to backward of point. Fielder races in. They'll only get a single. I think the lone female in the team, one of the top athletes at the school. Here goes once more. Moves in now to bowl. Trying to turn. White signal down the leg side. White signal by umpire Ken Pemberton. So he'll settle once more. Here he goes. Moves in now to bowl. Shorter. He's punching it into the onside. They're off and running. Pick up an easy single on that occasion. So here he goes from the far end, moves in now to bowl. He's punching it this time back to mid-on. This could be close. Well, just as we changed batteries, the batsman had a wild swing, was comprehensively beaten and bowled. The action will continue. I think the game is dicily positioned at this point. Punches it into the offside. They're off for the single. So one more to the total. Crucial run that. In the scheme of things, would be really interesting to know what the score is at this point. So, more adjustments to the field. Here he goes. Moves in now to bowl. Swings at that. Gets an outer edge down to fine leg. And one more to the total. So, Rosen Daniel encouraging his fielders, encouraging his team. As the bowler prepares to bowl once more. Batsman adjusting his batting gloves. Settles over his bat now. As he moves in now to bowl. Not a bad delivery, beaten outside the off stump. Keeper doesn't hold it cleanly but stops it effectively. Another dot, crucial dot. So here goes once more. Swinging at that, he's sit on the pad. The umpire says not out. And we have to salute these folks here, the cleaning crew here at the ETW. They work hard. Even at the Mondo, they work hard. They really work hard and must be saluted. But it's back to the cricket. Hits it into the onside. There's a stumble here. Oh my goodness. Mix up. I'm not even sure if they crossed or just turned back. But they're back in their respective creases safely. But a definite mix up there. Tension getting to the players. Moves in once more. Swing and a miss. Struck on the pad. Looks at the umpire. He's not impressed. That ends another over. So this could be a really intriguing finish here, as the bowler will bowl from the far end. Here he goes, moves into bowl. Not a bad delivery. Daniel is straight. Has to move around to his right. Can't prevent the single. One more. Maybe just a little bit too straight. Now he has come to his right. So here goes Lamar once more. That one passed pretty close to the batsman, maybe through his legs, so there's no wide call. He was swinging and missing on that occasion. So here he goes once more. Lamar moves in now to bowl shorter. He's flashing and missing. The keeper allows it to go through his legs, and they get a bye. Well, umpire Ken Pemberton fell asleep there. There certainly wasn't a touch on that. So one would go to the batsman, undeserved, because that certainly was a bye. Here goes Lamar once more. Bowls. Beaten outside the off stump. This time the keeper hangs on to it. Seems to be struggling somewhat, the wicketkeeper. Pads seem to be a little big, maybe. Here goes once more. Lamar, crucial over this. Moves in now to bowl shorter. Beaten again. The keeper stops this one this time. So, back of me, Pretty is saying hit the people ball. Let's see if he can hit the people ball as Lamar bowls us way down the leg side. White signal, losing the script on that occasion. Lamar maybe getting a bit carried away. We'll move in once more. Here he goes, bowls, a swing and a miss. Cap goes flying. The youngster will catch his cap before it flies away. The wind is really being naughty here at the ETW. That ends an effective over. What's the score? Well, the game is very interestingly positioned. After 8 overs, Ivor Walters, 39 for 4. Needing to get to 56 to get to a victory here. So, not sure if any particular team is ahead right now, but certainly you'll have to say that the Modcross prep is competing today. Got a small target, but now here's Jubri indicating to the youngster that he needs to get from behind the wicketkeeper. He does that. Now here goes, balls. That's a good axe. Umpire Jubri is unimpressed, but he struck him on the back leg. But Jubri would be indicating that he was missing the leg stump. So not a bad delivery on that occasion. So 39 for the loss of 4. We're in over number 9. Moves in now. That's off target. The wide. Well taken on that occasion by the keeper. Make that 40. Every run counts. So here he goes once more. Moves in now to bowl. That's a better delivery. Shocking to the offside. They're thinking of the single more than thinking of the single. And direct hit. Well, he was home and they get over throws. So they got 2 in the end. So make that 42. Well, it was a direct hit, but obviously home. So it's 42 now. Crucial game this. Ivor Walters swinging this one into the offside. They're off and running once more. Make that 43. They're just edging closer here. So 43 the score for 4. We're still in over number 9. So 43 for 4. Here he goes. Moves in now to bowl. Turns it into the onside. They're off and running once more. Might even think 2. They're asking for 2, the crowd. As there's a fumble. Make that 44 for 4. Still in over number 9. Just 12 runs required here now. And all of 3 overs after this. I would say Ivor Walters has the edge here. This time he's beaten. He wants to know what happened to those stumps. Leg stumps moved out of the way. 44 for 4. Moves in once more. Flashing it into the offside. Fielder rushes across. Picks it up. Make that 45. That's the end of over number 9. 3 overs remaining. And some 11 runs required for victory. I think Rosa and Daniel would have preferred to bowl the last over. But maybe the coaches are indicating that more than bowling the last over, you need a wicket here. And so he's going to play his last card. This will be his final over, over number 10. And then there'll still be 2 overs left. So the Ivor Walters will just have to negotiate this over, and I think they'll be home if they don't lose a couple of wickets here, which is the plan here by Daniels. He moves in now. Keeps it out. Thought of the single, but Coach Harvey at the far end says stay. I think he has indicated to them, look here, just stick out this one. Then you have all of 2 overs remaining to get the remaining runs. Daniel it is. Making some adjustments to his field now. Crucial over this. Crucial 5 balls remaining in this over. Here he goes. Moves in now. He's hitting it back up the strip to the bowler. Another dot. Now everybody on edge here. 45 the score. We're in over number 10. Here goes. Moves in now. Daniel bowls. Well bowled. They're looking for the single. The fielder comes across. Fumbles slightly. Daniel shouts at him to get busy. Gets across. No run. 3 dots. But maybe that's the plan by Ivor Walters. Play him out. Keep him out. There he goes. Bowls struck on the pad. But that's way down the leg side. He didn't look at the umpire, Daniel. He said he seemed to be saying something, but he certainly wasn't appealing to Kian Pemberton. He knew it was going down the leg side. 4 dots. 4 crucial dots. Moves in once more. Bowls. He's bowled him! Daniel has struck. And the usual celebrations. Flat and fast. He missed. And struck the top of off stump. Make that 45 for 5. And still another delivery left in this over. $45 for 5. 1 ball, I think, remaining in over number 10. And then Ivor Walters will have their last card to play. They'll try to go after the other 2 bowlers to get the 11. Well, it could be less than that depending on what happens with this delivery. Daniel has bowled a couple of no balls previously. You never know. Could also be another wicket. You never know. Let's see what happens. This hat giving this youngster some problems. If the ball hits that hat, it's going to be 4. Somebody needs to tell him that. He's not watching the hat. Here goes now. Moves into bowl. He's beaten. Struck on the pad, but outside the leg stump. That ends the over. So Ivor Walters now has 1 more card to play, as we have 2 overs remaining and 11 runs to get. It's in the hands of the Ivor Walters now as a message comes out. And I think Coach Harvey would be saying, watch here. You all now need to go after these 2 bowlers, whoever they are, to get those 11 runs. Well, let's see who is going to win this one, because now a lot depends on these last 2 bowlers. Not a bad delivery. As a matter of fact, it's a great delivery. He has picked out the off stump. First up, crucial wicket that. Make that 6 on. And he celebrates in style too. 45 for the loss of 6. Crucial wicket that. The big man having a swing. Swung right around it, and his off stump has been knocked back. Ivor Walters here in a little bit of a stagger now as they head towards the target. And certainly Modcross Prep competing here today. 45 for 6. Here he goes. Bowls. He's jabbing at that. They might be thinking of going for the bye. No. The keeper didn't hold on to it, but recovered quickly. 45 for 6. Need 11. 4 balls to complete the penultimate over. Moves in now to bowl short, and he's swinging at that. Beaten outside the off stump. 3 dot balls. And a wicket. So, Coach Harvey, what is he saying? Looks just a little nervous down there, Coach Harvey. He's asked to run, the crucial run. Make that 46. They might even be thinking 2. So 46 now for the loss of 6. 2 balls remaining in over number 11. Batsman having some difficulties with his pad, being assisted now by, as a matter of fact, the pad actually came off, being assisted now by umpire Pemberton. So I think it's the final delivery of the penultimate over. 46 for 6, and then we have 1. Who is going to bowl it? Bowls. He's jabbing at that, and that ends the over, I think. No, so I would have missed 1, or the umpires missed 1. Well, here goes once more. This should be the final delivery then. Moves in now to bowl. He's swinging, missing. Keeper stops it. That ends the over, and it's 46 for the loss of 6. And Coach Harvey is sending out a message. That message would be saying we need 10 runs from this final over to get to 56 and to make sure that we are victorious. It's a big axe that's come down to this, the final over. 10 runs required for victory. And this bowler has been entrusted with that final over. Daniel having an extended conversation with him. Sometimes the more you talk to people in these kind of situations, the more nervous you make them. He'll be getting a lot of advice from the sidelines as well. Coaches, Sharma, and all of the others, Top Cat, etc. They'll be shouting the advice across the field. But it's a crucial final over this. 10 runs required. Need at least 2 boundaries. The man looks big, looks as if he could whack it hard. He's going, he whacks it hard. They're going to get 1. Somebody's asking for 2. That's 1. 9 runs required. 5 balls remaining. So 47 the score for the loss of 6. So you're moving now to bowl. Bowled him! Well, well, well. Bowled him. He was pushing tentatively, played down the wrong line, and it hit top of off. Make that 46 for 7. 46 for 7 with 4 balls remaining in this wonderful encounter. So, new batsman in. 46 for 7. 4 balls remaining. They need 56 to win, Ivy Walters. Home of the Stars. Settle over his bat now. Nervous times here at the ETW. So here he goes. Moves in now to bowl the 3rd delivery of the over. Loops it. He's driving. Beautifully played into the offside. They should be thinking 2. It's desperate times here. Desperate times need desperate measures. But they settle for 1. Make that 48. 3 balls remaining. 8 runs required from 3 deliveries. 2 fours will do it. That could be 1. No misses. And true to the keeper. 2 balls remaining. So 2 fours can still do it. Modcross would have other ideas though. Here he goes to bowl the 5th delivery of the over. Beaten. That might be a wide. Will be a wide. Make that 49. Nervous times here. 49 for 7.
2.
Still moving now to bowl.
1, 2.
Just 2 balls remaining. Daniel having a quick word with him.
Right now we see
Bowles. He's tugging it into the inside. They're off for the and not out. So 50 on the tins with 1 ball remaining.
Have to get the score and find out.
1 ball to get 6 runs. So it's still possible. 1 big heave into the villa. And that will do it. Couple of no balls as well. Anything can still happen. Cricket is a funny old game. So even the wind knows that something is happening. The wind making sure that the bails go off every now and again. So 1 ball remaining. Here he goes. 6 runs required. Gets a wide. That's 1 more. Dives. That should be 2. Crucial. This is crucial. Maybe even 3. Harvey saying run 3. So that's 3 in total because it's a wide and 2. So 3 runs required. 1 legal delivery left. What a game. 1 legal delivery left. Here he goes. 3 runs. Just 3 runs. Missing. 2. They should be running. That's 1 more. Make that 54. And is that the game? That could be the game. And I think Modcross has won. Just by a whisker though. But Modcross has won. And that's the game. So Modcross back in the mix after several years. winning their first game this year. Well, we have had an exciting contest, and the headmistress Queely would be really pleased.
Ivalas batted first, making 55 runs. Modcross, sorry, my apologies. Modcross batted first, making 55 runs. Ivalas came in and made 51. Congratulations to Modcross for winning the first game.
So that's where we leave it from this particular game. And the Modcross team can celebrate Headmistress Queely, totally proud of her team. Well, it's an interesting contest, second time around this afternoon. And off and running for a single, Zaki Bailey, fresh from his 85 yesterday, not out when rain washed out play. Charlestown Primary now coming up against Joyce and Libert Primary. So that game was interestingly poised when rain washed it out yesterday afternoon. That was Charlestown Primary coming up against EPPS, and Charlestown Primary was well ahead of the game. They were over 100 plus for the loss of one wicket with Zaki and Bailey. I think he was about 83 or 85 not out. Today's a different day though, different game. As here he goes, both full toss, and that came off of what? But the point is they will get one of something. It's a leg by. Here goes once more, Bowes. Good delivery. Bailey is a little bit undone. He was going on the front foot, then on the back foot and beaten. Struck on the pad, but he's well outside the leg stump. No call, no appeal, no harm done. So, bowler will move in once more. Flatter. He's punching at that. Backward of point. Man deep on the boundary. Races in. Looks like Kelvin Libert. And then back for the second. Just barely past the keeper. And Zaki and Bailey, as he did yesterday, rushing through for every possible run. Additionally, he's a natural athlete. Full toss, well outside the off stump, slapped into the offside. Gets one more. Confident shot by Bailey. Reaching across and just slapping it into the offside. Picks up a single, ends the over. Well, Douglas, who had a very good spell yesterday, picked up 3 wickets. He will be hoping to have an equally good spell today. Picked up 3 wickets, young Douglas, and helped to bowl out St. James's for, I think it was about 17. Umpire Tariq Brown with the extended arm will allow him to go through now. Bailey isn't quite ready. Here's Douglas moving in now to bowl. Full toss, swung away viciously towards mid-wicket, but well stopped there on the boundary by Kelvin Libert. Was that too high? And Bailey already ready to rush through for a second run. Always not allowed as a no ball, but it was pretty high there by Douglas. So here goes once more. Moves in now to bowl. He's stroking this one a bit awkwardly into the offside and can't score. So here goes once more. It's going to be Douglas. Douglas moves in. Full toss. Beaten outside the off stump. The umpires again not thinking that is too high. But Douglas would need to watch that. That's what the pitch is there for. You need to land them on the pitch. Here goes once more. Douglas moves in now to bowl off the bat, I believe. It was in the air for a little bit. Keeper Fraser was rushing across, but it dropped well away from him. And you get the impression that something is going to give here as Douglas prepares to bowl once more. There he goes. Balls outside the off stump. The batsman is flashing at it. White signal by umpire Brown. Douglas looks just a little casual, not looking really energized as he moves in now to ball flat, and he's pushing it tentatively into the outside. Can't score, and that ends the over. No, not quite. Here's Douglas moving in now to bowl. Beaten outside the off stump. Keeper Fraser doesn't take it cleanly but stops it effectively. Ends over number 2. Well, if the Charlestown Libert primary team was watching the game yesterday, they'll know that they can't bowl short to Zakeem Bailey. Anything down the leg side and short will be going high. He's not going to keep it down. Hit a couple of sixes, well, a few sixes yesterday. Here he goes, bowls. He's punching it into the offside. There's Kelvin Libert, who is also a natural sprinter. Getting across and getting the return in. One more to the total. So, moving once more to bowl. This time to the right-hander. He struck on the pad. He shouts his appeal. Carmichael must be saying it struck him outside the off stump. It certainly was struck on the back foot there. Swinging right across it. So, from the pavilion end, he moves in once more to bowl. Drags it down. That might be a no ball. Let's see what the white signal by the umpire. I thought it bounced a couple of times more. But the umpire says wide. So still getting the extra run. Charlestown Primary. Moves in now to bowl. That's a better delivery. That's a good delivery. Went past the keeper. Actually reminding me of what I saw with Jadeja earlier this morning. Bowling to Duckett when he got one in the rough and it just popped. Keeper was in danger there too because that ball just popped off the surface and past the batsman, past the keeper. Brings the left-handed Bailey back into strike. Not a bad delivery, but he's punching it nicely. Well played there by Bailey, punching it sweetly into the offside. Gets another single. So we'll move in once more to bowl, this time to the right-hander. He's hitting it in the air. Watch the spin he does. That he does well. And the keeper not doing well. He has on his gloves and pads and he seems to be afraid of the ball. But just one more to the total. So in over number 3 of 12, I think. Moves in now to bowl. That's as wide as they come. Keeper goes a long way across to pull it in. White signal by umpire Carmichael. Here he goes once more. Bowls. Full toss. Driven by Bailey into the onside. Mid-on comes across. Bubbles with it. And naturally Bailey looking for another run. And that ends over number 4 or number 3. Over number 3. Well, Douglas will be bowling to Bailey now. There he goes. Useful delivery, comprehensively beaten. He didn't come across on that occasion. Both feet planted and just pushing the bat tentatively at that one. True to the keeper who took it well. This time deciding he should come on the front foot. Moving the foot on that occasion. That's after the fact though. It's a full toss. He's slamming it down the ground. The man comes across. He stops it. And they'll only get a single. Putting his entire frame on the line on that occasion. And stopping it effectively. 14 for no loss. Weighing over number 4. Moves in now to bowl. Flatter, faster. That's a good delivery. Well kept out. Bailey was rushing down the track. Batsman was not responding. It would have been a crazy single. So it's going to be Douglas once more. Here he goes. Moves in now to bowl. Not a bad delivery. And he's pushing at that. Beaten. True to the keeper who takes it well. It's going to be Douglas once more. Here's Douglas moving in now to bowl. Flat and good delivery. Well played too. Well kept out. Stretching onto that front foot. Pushing it back up the strip to the bowler. Douglas, for the most part, bowling a steady, straight line. Bowls beaten outside the off stump as he drove at it loosely on that occasion. And that ends over number 4.
Yeah, at the end of
and the score now 14 for no loss. So it's going to be new bowler into the attack. Bowls to Bailey. The keeper does well. Diving across to effectively, I think, save 4 wides. But one more to the total. The score now 15 for no loss. Bailey looking for his signature shot. Pull shot over square leg for 6. Plays that really well. He's hoping for the right delivery. Here he goes. Moves in now. That's way down the leg side. The keeper can't get that. The man is chasing after it. Can he pull it in? So he actually stopped it, but his feet was over the boundary. Gone for 4. So Bailey will settle once more. Here he goes. Bowl shot down the leg side once more. Well taken on that occasion by the keeper, but another wide. Bowler struggling here. So the new bowler having his hands full as he moves in once more. Bowl better delivery. Struck on the pad. Pushing at that casually there was Bailey. Struck on the pad. There was an appeal. The umpire is not impressed. Bailey settles. Compact looking stance. Here he goes. Ball short and he's punching at that. Beaten outside the off stump. He looks disappointed. Thinking he should have smashed it back with a point. Settles over his bat once more. Here he goes. Bowls wide of the off stump. Flashes at that. Misses. Past the keeper. Bubbles down here. They'll be thinking 2. He's rushing back. He's an athlete, is Bailey. And he gets there safely. Once there's an opportunity, he's going to rush through. He did. And 2 more to the total. And right away, there's a change. Coach Liebert deciding, well, I need somebody else in that position. That's another wide. And he goes past the keeper again. Here he goes. They get 1. They'll be thinking 2. Another bubble here. Again, he's home, I think, safely. So Bailey settles as the bowler prepares to go in now. Bowls outside the off stump, he punches it, but he can't score on this occasion. Straight to the man, even though he bubbled with it. They would have already hesitated, and so can't score. Here he goes, bowls short, and he's pulling it into the onside. The man is deep on the mid-wicket boundary. He does poorly. He got there, but he could have even used his foot to stop that one. And it raced past him into the boundary for 4. Bailey in strike once more. He's punching this one up past the bowler who does poorly. And the ball is going to go pretty close to the boundary too. Picked up there in the end. They get 2. And so 2 more to Bailey. Scoring pretty freely for the moment. Ends over number 5. Kelvin Liebert into the attack. Bowls. He's beaten outside the off stump. Well taken by Fraser. So 30 for no loss. 5 overs completed. We're into over number 6. So here's Liebert once more from the pavilion end. Here he goes. Moves in now. Stopped by the umpire. I think the problem is that the fielder, no. Yeah, the fielder was almost directly behind the keeper. So the umpire indicating to him to get from behind the keeper. Here goes now. Moves in Libert to bowl. Useful delivery, well played. Stodgily playing forward and keeping it out. Here's Libert, moves in now. Good delivery once more. Again, he's on the front foot, pushes it cautiously up onto the offside, can't score. Libert hustling back to his mark. Moves in once more to bowl. Shorter, flash and a miss. Goes past the keeper. And right away, Bailey's charging through. Seizing every opportunity to score. Here goes now. Bowls to Bailey. Bailey's swinging this one in the air. There's nobody home though. It's going to go land safely and then they get one. But definitely going after the ball on that occasion. His coach just told him that half of the innings is already gone. Meaning that we're in over number 6. It's a 12 over encounter. He wants much more than what the score is at the moment. That's a good delivery. Well stopped there and missed the... No, again Bailey turning, looking for the single, but missed the stump. It was a good bit of fielding there by Libert. So here goes the bowler. Bowls to Bailey. Bailey flashes and looking at the umpire, who is not impressed. Wants him to call wide. The umpire says no. He didn't move across. He just stood there and flashed. There he goes once more. Bowl shot down the leg side. That's the shot he was waiting for. And it's gone the distance again. That's his signature shot. Once it's short like that, down the leg side, Bailey's going to cart it away. Lifted it intentionally over backward up square for 6. So here he goes once more. Moves in now to bowl. Better delivery, but Bailey swings it away, going for 4. Actually took it on the full and swung it away backward up square for 4. Bailey on the charge now. Here goes the ball to Bailey once more. Bailey swinging it away once more. Poor work by the fielder. Exceptionally poor work by the fielder. You could watch him and see that he was afraid of the ball. And Lemuel Pemberton is really telling him exactly what he thinks about that bit of fielding. Poor work. So Bailey now taking a liking to this bowler. A 6 and 2 4s. He has decided to go over the wicket. Does that make a difference? Here he goes. Bailey's punching at it. Can't get the kind of power into it that he would have wanted. Fielder at short mid-wicket. Here he goes once more. Moving in now to bowl to Bailey. Wide of the off stump, but not wide enough to be called a wide. And he's flashing and missing. That ends over number 7. So Libert, who bowled a pretty mean over in his last over, continues now, beaten outside the off stump. Another dot, crucial dot. 48 for no loss. And this is over number 8. Here's Libert moving in now, stopped by the umpire. Here he goes, moves in now to bowl. Wide of the off stump, very wide. Signaled by the umpire, Brown. So here goes Libert once more. Here goes Libert, moves in now to bowl. That's a better delivery, but well played, well kept out. Libert looking to run out Bailey, who was backing up, but he got back in quickly. Here he goes, moves in now to bowl short, and he's tugging at that. Goes past the keeper down the leg side. That should be another wide. So that brings Bailey back into strike. Right away, square leg goes back to the boundary. So Libert it is. Moves in now to bowl down the leg side. That's his kind of delivery. Missed out on that one though. Better delivery, but still would be a wide. The length though was a bit troubling to Bailey, who didn't seem to know if he should go backward or forward. So he ups now to go around the wicket. Here he goes. Moves in now, full pitch delivery. He's playing it uppish into the upside, but away from the man at back of the point. Bobbles with it, and already chasing back for the second is Bailey. Very quick between the creases. Coach Queeley is telling him just swing your bat. He wants to get a lot more on the tins. Here he goes, bowls. Punches it into the outside. The man is speeding in. Will he stop it? Oh my goodness. He skated past the ball, or the ball skated past him. I don't know which one was going at the faster rate, but it was a poor bit of fielding once more. Gone for 4. Lovely shot by Bailey. Bailey settles once more. He's driving past the bowler. This one is heading towards us. It might go all the way. The man allows it to come past him, and it's the tripod of the camera. That's a lovely shot by Bailey. 4 more. Bailey settles. It's going to be Libert. So Libert will moving now to bowl. Here's Libert, bowl short and swung away. That's his shot, and it has gone the distance, dragging it down, and he pulled it over backward up square for 6.
Yes,
so apparently Bailey has scored 50 again.
Making 50.
His second 50 in 2 days.
53 and toss of
His second 50 in 2 days.
for the loss of 8 overs. 66.
66 for no loss. 8 overs completed. So the other batsman is in strike, the right-hander. So he goes, bowls. He's pulling that one struck, but that might have been pretty high. Here he goes, bowls. Good delivery, pushed uppishly, and this could be interesting. No, he misfielded. Bailey was intent on getting on strike and took a risk. Misfielded there by Libert. Settles over his bat once more. Got to 80 plus yesterday, now on 53. Settles over his bat now. Has a flash at that, misses, looks up at the umpire, who looks away. Here he goes once more, moves in now. Better delivery, punches it now. The man comes across, knocks it down. This could be dangerous, but he gets back in his crease. Here he goes once more, bowls, punches it up to mid-on, can't score. So Bailey, who has batted superbly in the 2 days of the tournament so far, full toss, he's spanking it but missing out on that occasion. Back up the strip to the bowler, ends over number 8.
9th over.
New bowler, here he goes, bowls way outside the off stump. That has to be a wide. Here he goes now, moving in now to bowl. Full pitch delivery, beaten as it drives over it, past the keeper, and right away, Zaki Bailey charges through for the extra. So it's a bye. Here he goes. Stop in his run up. Here he goes. Moves in now to bowl to Bailey. Bailey sitting it in the air, but away from the man at mid-on, and he goes into the boundary for 4. Here he goes once more to bowl to Bailey. Bailey sitting it in the air. The man is racing in. Waits on it to drop, and it goes past him and just stopped it. And stayed a while to release the ball. They've gotten 2 more. Bailey hitting out at everything now. He has already secured his half century. Coach has told him to hit out. He's doing just that. Full toss, misses. That's wide. They're going to go through for the extra run. I might be run out. He is no. Umpire says not out. Must have been mighty close though. Right-hander in strike. Oh, that's maybe an attempted bouncer. Dropping it way down the mid-pitch. And the ball making a little bit of height. I believe this could be Otto. Not certain. Off a pretty long run. Beaten outside the off stump. There's a flash, and there's a possible. And Zaki and Bailey dived in. Desperation dive. And actually looking for more. So they're running for everything. Buys it is. Ten overs completed, 80 for no loss. Let's see, prepares to bowl once more. Good delivery is bowled. Dead on stump, and he dragged it back into his leg stump. So Douglas has struck. He has been one of the most successful bowlers for the season so far. Here he goes, bowls. That's close. That's mighty close. He sent him. LBW is gone. Sent LBW. So Bailey going all the way down to have a chat with the incoming batsman. The bowler Douglas is on a hat trick. So can he avert this hat trick? Here he goes, moves in now. This is a hat trick delivery, punches it into the offside. Lovely shot. And they'll get an easy single, maybe even thinking 2. But it's not on. So Douglas will now bowl to Bailey. Bailey with that compact looking stance. Settles now. Full toss. He's slamming it down the ground past mid-on into the long on boundary for 4. Full toss. And he just slammed it. Here goes Douglas. Bowls. He was going well outside the off stump. And the bowler may be aiming at the leg stump, but it has been called a wide. It was a premeditated shot. He intended to tug it through the onside. Here he goes. This time he's just guiding it, steering it intentionally into the offside. And off and running for a single. And that ends the over. Bailey, crucially, taking the last over. Full toss, and that has to be a wide. It's a wide. So 86 for the loss of 2. So Otto will moving out to bowl to Bailey. Well, while we were changing cards, Otto clean bowled Bailey. Had a big swing at it, beaten and bowled. Here he goes, moves in now to bowl Otto. He's flashing and missing outside the off stump. So here he goes once more. Otto bowls, full toss. He's pulling it into the onside. Can the man pull it in? Well stopped. And they'll only get one. Was traveling, but he managed to stop it. So Otto it is. Moving now to bowl. Good delivery, shock on the back pad. Oh, he's bowled. He's actually bowled. So Otto celebrates another wicket. So 4 wickets now down for Charlestown Primary. So Otto, who picked up some 4 wickets yesterday, picking up another 2 today.
At 89 for lot of 4.
So 89 for 4. New man in, Otto, and this is the final over of this innings. We're moving now to bowl. Coach Lemuel Pemberton asking him to bowl off stump. Here he goes, bowls. He's driving. Otto is across. Past him now. They should be thinking 2 here. But they've settled for 1. Seems to be a pretty long over this. Seems as if the final over started since last year. Here's Otto. Moving in once more to bowl. Good delivery. Punches it into the offside. They should be thinking 2 here because the overs are running out. He's turning back for the second, but this is going to be out. Well, can't blame him though. It was the last ball and they really needed to run for everything. They did exactly that, but he was run out in the process. So we'll get the updated score. Charlestown Edward Primary will be chasing something like 95 for victory. We'll verify that. But he's a powerful striker of the ball, Otto. Nice, settled looking stance. Moves in now to bowl to Otto. Bowls. Otto is stroking at this one into the offside. They're off and running. Keeper might throw it away again. More runs again. That's careless work there by Charlestown Primary. They should get... They're going again. Well. Charlestown Primary. A bit rattled there. The coach will need to talk to them early. They're a bit rattled in the field. So, here he goes. Moves in now to bowl. He's swinging at that. And there was Otto racing down the track once more. I don't know if he remembers that he got run out yesterday. But he was swinging, was Fraser, and Otto was already racing down. So here he goes. Moves in now to bowl. He's driving into the offside and stop there. Are we going to get more overthrows? No. So 1 more to the total. So the left armer, not a bad approach to the stumps. His arm is definitely coming over. Bowls. Otto is stroking that one into the onside. There's Bailey racing after it. Collides with the fielder. One more to the total.
8 without loss. Good. And then maybe another over a little 8, and you'll be right up there with the scoring rate.
So here goes once more. Moves in now to ball to Fraser. Fraser is flashing at that one, and he's going to race through Otto. Might be a bye. Let's see what is wide. So 2 more to the total. 10 for no loss. So the left armer moves in once more. Oh, he's punching this one, but he doesn't time it at all. It just bubbles back up the strip to the bowler. 10 for no loss after one, chasing 94 for victory. So Fraser now in strike over number 3. 20 for no loss, chasing 90 for victory.
So Dividend will bowl from the...
Dividend is the bowler. Ball. Fraser is tugging it away, and that's flying away to the mid-wicket boundary for 4. Lovely shot by Fraser. Oh, he creamed it. Waited for it to land, and he pulled it away to mid-wicket for 4. So Dividend it is. To move in now to bowl to Otto. Here he goes, balls to Otto. Otto is, so that's a poor shot. The ball was way outside the off stump. Oh, that's crazy, that's crazy, that's crazy. And I think he's gone for the second day running. Otto is run out. He seems to be debating the call, but that was the second time that Otto has been run out. The fielder had the ball in his hand, and yet still he was charging down. That's poor work.
And just decided, well, a second could be on. Well, backward square, long leg, shot third man, backward point, extra cover, and then long off. Well, that's the field.
So new batsman is Kelvin Liebert, and Dividend it is will be bowling to Kelvin Liebert Jr. Liebert is hitting it in the air, but dropping well short of the field at extra cover. 1 more to the total, but he was in the air for a long time. So the little dapper figure of Fraser, a lot depends on him. Otto is already back in the pavilion. So it's going to be Dividend. Balls. And he's sweeping at that. Shadowing the stumps there. Isn't that a wide? Well, Tariq didn't think so. So bowling right arm wrist spin. And so Dividend it is. We're moving once more to bowl to Fraser. Loops it once more. Fraser is punching at it. Again, shadowing the stump. There's Bailey. And that ends the over at the end of over number 3, 26 for the loss of 1.
And so far, he would have started the over well. There's a man Fraser doing these days. And Bunwawi was on target on that occasion. And so far, he would have started the over well. There's a man Fraser doing...
So here's the young left armer, medium pace. So at this level, nice to see a nice little... Oh, that's a high ball, maybe a full, maybe a no ball, I'm not sure. Let's see what the umpires will signal. No.
And the score moves up to 30.
No. So 1 more to the total.
30 without loss. They need another.
So bowler seems primed up as he races in now to bowl. Liebert is struck on the pad, but he's pushing back outside the leg stump, struck on the pad. So here he goes once more. Moves in now to bowl. Liebert turns it into the onside. The fielder is racing and misfields badly. 1 more to the total. So here he goes once more. The left armer. Moves in now to bowl. Fraser is punching it to the offside. That's a lovely shot. The fielder is moving across and does poorly. And then he recovers. And they go back for 2. So 2 more to the total, but that was nicely driven by Fraser. Well, it looks as if Zakim Bailey has walked off the field. I don't know what the problem is. Oh, he's gone. Well, he's gone on the boundary. So it seems as if the coach wanted Zakim to spin, and his granddad is saying he's a pace bowler and must pace the ball. So there was a debate down there. Poor Zakim didn't know what to do. Eventually gave up the ball, and he has gone down on the boundary now. Must be a little bit despondent after batting so well these last 2 days. He's punching it over extra cover for 4. That's a lovely shot. Dragged down, and he was stretching down the track and latching onto it and hitting it over extra cover for 4. Here he goes once more. Bowles drags it down again. Libert punches it into the outside. The ball is racing down the hill once more. Fielder comes across, bubbles with it, and they go back for the second run. No, Charlestown Primary has lost the momentum big time, because look where Zakim Bailey is. And the way he's there, it looks as if he has told himself that I'm out of this game. He's not going to motivate anymore. When he was wicket keeping, he was motivating. And that time he struck on the pad. There's an appeal. The umpire says not out. So Bailey was the motivator for the team. Now he's way out of the game and looking as if he doesn't want to have any part with it anymore after that incident, which is really sad. So here goes now. Moves into bowl. Punches it into the onside. They will get at least one. Can they think about a second? And it looks as if his grandfather is going to have a talk with him. He's going to walk all the way around. But I think he would have caused some of the problems with whatever was said over the boundary line. But he's going to have a chat with Bailey now. So here he goes. Moves in now to bowl to Fraser, who has batted well so far. Stylishly pushes it back up the strip to the bowler. Here he goes once more. Moves in now to bowl and swings it in the air. The keeper is getting on there. The keeper takes a catch. Falls over. He's gone. Fraser is gone. The keeper throws it into the air. Celebrates. And that's a big wicket. They're celebrating as if they have won the game already. So, whatever Matey said originally, I think he's trying to mend fences right now. And you see, it's one thing to listen to the coach, but when you're being told to do something different and you have to go home to that house, that's where you live, that's a different story. So 50 required from 6 overs. So it's going to be Aiden who's going to bowl. So here's Aiden moving in now to bowl. He's going after a wide delivery, and the umpire Tariq Brown shows the extended arms, and it's a wide. So it's going to be Aiden once more. Here's Aiden, moving in now, loops it up, punches it into the upside. The little man, Anand, misfields badly. He's going to run pretty close to the boundary, and they're going to get 2 very easily. So 2 more to the total. Anand looks as if he's afraid of the ball. He's a little man. So here goes once more. Aiden bowls outside the off stump. He's tugging at that. He's bowled. Tugged it back onto his stumps. And that's the end of Keldron Liburd. Charlestown Primary celebrating here. And look at them. Big celebration here. That's one thing about Charlestown Primary. They celebrate big time. New man in. Powerfully built youngster. And The score at this time is 42 for the loss of 3.
Long off, long on. Deep.
Aiden it is, will be bowling to the big man.
Deep backward square. 45, third man.
Here goes Aiden, bowl, loops it up, he's pulling at that. And misses, no wide signals.
Trinidad and Tobago too.
So
And there is no run.
Aiden
So
will
number
bowl
7,
once
42
more
for
to
3.
James.
And Aiden will try again. Here is Aiden to bowl to
He goes,
James,
moves in
bowl
now to bowl to James. James is tugging it into the onside. Long on, races in. Is he going to misfield? No. Stops in nicely, gets a return in. One more to the total.
And so the score moves up to still to go.
So England winning over India today.
In 5 overs.
Was a very intriguing contest, I can tell you.
After this one, it's
High scoring one too.
game, really. Just a couple of boundaries can change things just a
So
little bit.
here he goes,
There is
moves
Aiden
in
comes
now.
up to balls to Douglas. Douglas is driving.
That's
to the ball
Douglas
side.
driving and missing.
And
Douglas
Aiden
will settle
again.
once more.
It's not a good over. Just a couple of runs and got the very important wicket of Lyman.
So here goes Douglas. Aiden, sorry, bowls. Douglas is tugging it into the onside. They're often running, misfielded badly. And that's Bailey rushing in and missed it. Definitely seems a lot flustered now after that incident. So after 7 overs, 45 for the loss of 3. Things are looking dicey now for Joyce and Libert Primary. So dividend it is. The wrist spinner bowls, nicely looped, he's missing. And it goes past the keeper, unfortunately. And one more to the total. Seems as if there was a little edge on that.
There is none. So that means he got back onto it. Went over the head of the keeper.
No, what's happening with James? James has suddenly decided he's going to bat left-handed.
And back left.
What is this? This is interesting.
Now ball to James. James is sitting down.
James is pulling at that and they're running.
For a single,
Well,
James is
no.
through. So Douglas Albert. James
Well.
plays the
So in the previous over, James batted
ball
right-handed.
He would be a right-hander.
And now he has
Now he's
decided to bat left.
And,
Well, that's
so
interesting.
James would have turned around.
Do you need to tell the umpire that you're going to turn around? Umpire is telling him you have to bat. You have to bat right-handed. Instructed by the umpire. Well, that's interesting. Here goes balls. He's punching it past the bowler. They're going to run. Douglas hesitating. And a relay return, but one more to the total.
Very good. 46.
So, 46 for the loss of 3. 90 seems like a mountain now. Here's the bowler bowling. Douglas just looks around behind him, watches it go through. White signal by the umpire. We're into over number 8. And the way things look right now, looks like a lost cause. But then cricket is a funny old game. Somebody can belt a couple of boundaries and things can change. But the way it's looking right now, the bowler seems to be in charge. Tugs it into the onside. They'll only get 1. Well taken by the bowler too, the return. 1 more to the total. Brings James back into strike.
48 for 3. Here is Dividend to bowl to James.
So the wrist spinner
Need a couple of boundaries, yes?
moves in now to bowl. There is looping it in.
And James,
He's tugging at that. He's beaten. Comprehensively beaten.
when
Really
passes,
went
maybe
after that with
the
a
offside would have been a better option.
powerful effort that missed out.
Spun across him, two balls to James.
So the wrist spinner,
I make it 48.
right arm wrist spinner,
Comes up
has
now,
some
balls to
potential.
James.
Loops it, really loops it. Hitting the offside. They're running 1.
Just a single.
And they'll settle for 1. So 1 more to the total. And that really wouldn't bake cakes here at the ETW. 8 gone, just 4 remaining. They need to get 90 and 49 to score.
3. They need 10.
50 for 3. We're in over number 9.
They need to get 10.
Here goes, balls. He's tugging at that and struck on the pad. So missing in action there is James.
There is no run.
So
So,
spectators screaming that they want some boundaries.
Charlestown Primary School.
So
And James will have
Aiden looks
to
very relaxed.
shift here. You know, maybe
As
going
he
high gear.
moves in once more to bowl.
Comes up now, balls to James.
Goes, and James is latching onto that, but he doesn't hit it powerfully. Misfields. They should be looking for 2. And they should be going for the second now. Again, start. Again, they throw it away. And they're still not running, but finally they run. And now he's home. Well. Comedy of errors here. So here goes once more. Aiden goes. James is punching it into the outside. In the air. Dividend comes across. James is hustling. He gets home. He really put on the roller skates there so he can hustle when he wants. So here goes once more. Goes to Douglas. Douglas is tugging this one into the inside again. Just a single. So singles won't do it at this point.
54 for 3. They need passes and VOJ with battle right
So
off
here he goes.
Again.
Moves in once more. Loops it there. He's punching it down the ground, but not powerfully struck either. And it's going to be one more. So one more to the total. So Aiden has been pretty tight so far. So he goes wide. Swing and a miss. So 56 for the loss of 3.
The Jeffrey has done well since he's been behind the stuff. Jeffrey, they take a good catch, super. Douglas just doing some repairs to the boot, and he's ready now.
So it's going to be Aiden once more.
Aiden, waiting on Douglas. Makes his way,
There
comes
he
up
goes,
now,
moves in now to goal. Swings it
Swings
away, but there's a man behind there, stops it. Well, misfielded, they should be thinking 2. Douglas is rushing back. There's James, rushing down is James and collects 2. That ends the over. So it's nice to see in the crowd Derek Ricardo Parry. I think he's with the St. Thomas's primary team. Alongside him is Lemuel Pemberton. Over the years in local cricket, they would have had some really good battles. Lemuel bowled into Derek Parry and Everett Sargent and company. He was a fast bowler, Lemuel Pemberton, and very aggressive. Now they're friends. They could chat and talk about cricket. Micey Wallace is there. Somersault is there as well, having a convo. And so this game petering out to be kind of one-sided in the end. Charlestown Primary, well, more than a nose ahead right now with just 3 overs remaining.
58 for 3.
So the score 58 for 3.
Over number 10 now ball.
And this is the 10th over. Moves in now to bowl. That's a wide. Well, if they get a couple of those, they will add up, of course.
59 for 3 over number 10. What's your problem?
So here goes, ball short, and he's bowled.
Good delivery.
He's clean bowled. And look at the celebration by Charlestown. They know how to celebrate Charlestown. That's the way they celebrate. Another wicket goes. They're going to almost kill him there in the celebration. If you're a bowler and you get a wicket for Charlestown Primary, it's a scary vibe because they tug you, they pull you, but at least they're celebrating. So Lawrence settles over his bat, goes. He's stroking it beautifully into the outside. Nice little drive on that occasion, moving nicely to the ball and stroking it sweetly. So here goes once more. Moves in now to bowl. This time is Douglas in strike. Douglas looks up at the umpire. The umpire accommodates. White signal.
For 4, win into the offside. Yes, easy to the offside. And just a single.
So he goes once more. Moves in now to bowl. Short, and he's tugging at that one. That's gone back with a square for 4. Lovely shot by Douglas. Off target, and he just tugged it away. Backward of square for 4. So here goes. Moves in now to bowl. He's driving that one into the onside. Mid-wicket comes in. Throws the ball hard. Goes past the keeper. And they're going to get more runs. Now he's going to go on close to the boundary. And that's little Anand. They should look for another. So they got a couple.
Charlestown like because they run 3. 68.
So
Comes up
68
now.
now.
Ball
Moves
to
into goal.
Lawrence, goes to Lawrence.
He's beaten, comprehensively beaten, goes past the keeper. It's going to run pretty close to the boundary. The man is going to go after it and stops it.
Good stuff from Aiden. Let's see where
So, comes back now.
hit the stump. Question been asked now to the umpire. But that was a good show on that occasion from Aiden. Yeah. They're right in the game here.
So, here he goes. Moves in once more to ball. Stroking it into the offside. They're going to get one. Misfielded. They might even think of a second. This is crucial. And, oh, he falls over. But 2. That ends the over. Well, I did say that Charlestown Primary had this wrapped up, but it doesn't seem so again, because it's 72, 10 overs completed, just 18 runs required from 2 overs, 9 per over, not impossible at all. Well, critical over this, penultimate over, 18 runs required. Aiden is going to bowl. So let's see what happens here now. So Aiden will be bowling now to Douglas. Lots of adjustments to the field. The coaches are ringing the changes down there. They have to make sure that the right persons are in the right positions. So, Aiden. Well, moving now to bowl. Here goes, bowls. Douglas is hitting it in the air. He's dropping short of the fielder. They're going to get 1. But he didn't throw it hard on that occasion, so 1 more to the total.
Now when the game is getting close, people who are sitting now standing, and so you know this game. Normally these games.
Here he goes, moves in now to bowl. He's tugging it into the onside. They might be thinking 2. They would be thinking 2. Sliding effort there. 1 more to the total. He ran all the way from square leg to mid wicket to field that. So here he goes. Douglas settles over his bat. So Aiden has bowled pretty well so far. He's tugging that one, but he doesn't really latch onto it. Fielder fields only 1. So 3 singles so far. So 15 required, and an over and 3 balls, or an over and 2 balls remaining. So settles over his bat. Moves in now to bowl. He's tugging at that as Lawrence struck on the pad. Loud appeal. The umpire says not out. So Aiden has been pretty tight. Moves in once more. Here goes, balls. He's stuck in that one. Racing in. Misfields. They will be going back. No. 1 more. Oh, they've thrown it away again and stuttering.
Let's see what happened. They're going to find a return again. Charlestown throwing team. What is it, 40? From about what? 7? Or 6? Or 8? 7? There is Aiden has bowled an over of his life. Comes up now and bowls to Douglas. Douglas ball. Top edge. Going past to make it. Spin pass it. They're going for 1.
Now they're going back for 2. He's home. So he's home, and they say they need 12. Well, it's going to be Roberts with the last over. I think 14 runs required. More adjustments to the field.
Long leg, deep square, forward a square, deep middle wicket.
So
Long on, long off.
coaches all around the field making adjustments.
On the boundary. Crucial over. 12 needed.
The onside field packed with players on the boundary. They have decided to, and he's struck on the pad, loud appeal by the bowler, not impressed. So that's a crucial dot ball. 5 balls remain, some 14 runs required. So looks as if Charlestown is back with their nose ahead once more. 5 balls. Cricket, this funny old game. Moves in now to bowl. Oh, he's just pushing it into the offside for the single. I guess the script has been I think that he missed the script, that he needs to swing and swing hard. We understand that he's 11 required. He swings into the onside, doesn't latch on to it. Anybody's going to throw it away, misfield slightly. So 1 more to the total. There's 3 balls remaining, 10 runs required. So they're lining the boundary in the onside. So it's going to be Roberts once more. Moves in now. Oh, punching at that, missing. 2 balls. I think it's all over by the shouting. Charlestown Primary already celebrating, and you can watch the celebration in a few because they can celebrate, I can tell you. So let's see what happens. The captain is a little bit defensive. He's defensive. Pushes it. He strokes the ball, but you need to be belting it around. And so it's all over. 9 required from 1. And so Charlestown Primary can celebrate now. So let's see what happens. Here goes. Let's see what happens. 1 more ball to go. 1 more ball to go in a very intriguing contest. Here he goes. Moves in now to bowl. Good delivery. Swings into that. And misfielded. And that's 1. They're coming back. They should have come back. Well, and so that's the end of the game. And just look at the celebration by Charlestown. So Charlestown winning this game. Celebration a little muted, but now they're going to get into that circle. Charlestown Primary has won. That's the way we're going to leave you.